Yeah.
So I'm going to blow some people's minds by asking a real question. People hate it when I do that shit. But how are you diversifying your brand? CrossFit's been kind of a wonky space the last couple of years. They've certainly had their ups and downs and some real challenges in leadership and turnover and all kind of craziness. And they still do, if we're being fair. And I'm not picking on them. I just think it's fair to say they've had a lot of issues in the last couple of years, and they feel like they're on the upswing. So I want to be fair. But you got to diversify your business. If you put all your eggs in that one basket, that organized basket's going to go away pretty quick.
Yeah.
So what other groups are you guys reaching out to? NFL, MLB? What are you working on?
Yeah. So here's our roadmap. We have thought of CrossFit as our foundation. And then on top of that, we're going to build in sports. And so we're picking a few right now where we've seen some resonance, and that is with the NFL. And so we're even starting to test ads. Like, we ran a video photo shoot with an NFL player from the Texans. He's one of our earliest customers, John Weeks. He's been a huge supporter. And at some point in the last 3-6 months, he was just like, hey, you guys want to shoot some photos? I'm going to be at a summer training camp. We could meet up. And I was like, are you, as a professional footballer, offering to do a free photo shoot for us?
What?
And he's like, yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
I'm like, yes is the answer. I would like to do that.
Yes,
and so we did this whole thing, and then we're like, hey, can we run these in ads? He's like, yeah, for sure. I don't care. Wait, I'm sorry, what? Yeah. Normally that is a real big expense. And so we have 3 other football players, the Giants and some other guy, literally.
Some big dudes.
Some big dudes,
yeah.
Yeah, doing the same thing. And then we just did it with a Olympic sprinter, and then a handful of triathletes. So where we're looking at expanding immediately in the short term is football players, triathletes, and boxing, UFC, MMA type stuff. That's where we have a lot of resonance. Very similar, especially the triathletes and the MMA people, very similar to CrossFitters, where you have a ton of gear and you're using it every day, and you have to cycle it in and out, and half of it smells like shit.
Yep. Hey, you should get Cade York on the Browns. He's sucking right now and going to get cut soon, so you get him cheap. You get him real cheap.
Actually, our threshold is free. So
our threshold's free.
Unless he wants to just step in and do it for free, we're all set.
Well, watch week 1. If he misses a field goal, you could get him for free. I can almost guarantee it. Almost guarantee it.
He's offer him a bag, and he'll be like, "Can I resell this for $300? Because I really need that money right now."
Yeah, I'm getting fired.
I know. I love that. I love that you're doing UFC though, because I think that's UFC is literally the closest thing to CrossFit I can imagine. People do Brazilian jiu-jitsu and all these sports. You're right. All their stuff smells to hell. They're just carrying smelly gear everywhere. They got a ton of it that they got to carry. They're always carrying the huge bags. I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah. Well, I think it makes sense for so many things, but that's where we've seen a lot of resonance. So we have the same thing happening with CrossFitters and NFL players and triathletes and UFC and MMA people. Is these people will just reach out to us, and then we'll seed them the product, and then they'll post a video, and it's just kind of this wild thing that's happening. And they're like, all right, let's like pay attention and now let's see if we can kind of grow those verticals. Like if you look at our ads and if you go to our website or our Instagram, you start getting peppered with ads and they're like 98% focus on, this is like for a CrossFitter. So now it's let's create some stuff in some other verticals and see if we can open those up.
Have you heard of pickleball?
Yeah.
Those people have gear. They
for sure.
Somebody should just build a brand around, we're only going to sell to people that won't shut the fuck up about their hobbies. And you're only going to sell to CrossFitters, pickleballers, vegans, atheists.
With Stanley Cups.
It's seriously, that's all it's going to be. I don't know what you could design that you could only sell to a pickleballer or an atheist, but you figure it out.
I'll figure that out. I like to develop product.
Yeah. Start something new.
Hey, pickleballers got a lot of gear, man. I'm telling you, of course, they're basically CrossFitters, so they'll probably just gravitate towards you anyway.
Yeah. It's probably on the roadmap at some point. And that's kind of what we're looking at with this growth and like a little fundraise and some of these people that want to get involved and how to do, where to go, how to get there is being able to bring on a team and like really crush product development over the next couple of years. Cause it's 2 of us and then a couple of freelancers and an agency, and we can't like do much more than what we've done. So bringing on a team to like kind of crush those opportunities. And we're talking with a couple of other major billion-dollar sports franchises about large partnerships like what we did with CrossFit. We had talked a little bit about getting involved with CrossFit. And then once we sealed the deal and then posting some of the reports about how we've grown and the benefits that have come out of that has really piqued some interest of these other groups. And so
cool.
I'm pretty excited about kind of all of that side on like the business growth side as well.
Yeah, that's great.
What is the business environment like in Seattle? I know the last couple of years have been kind of wild for the West Coast between riots and craziness and whatever. I mean, you only see what we see in the news. I don't get out to the West Coast. I just assume the place is burning down. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the Midwest.
Depends on the day.
I'm in Ohio. We're all nice here. I don't know what to say. I hear that. What's it like?
Yeah. So I'm originally from Nebraska, so I get the Midwest thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And my co-founder's in New York. I'm actually moving to LA this fall. So like even more West Coast.
Whoa.
Yeah. In Seattle, it's there's a really good tech scene. There's not much of an e-commerce or a direct-to-consumer scene. Like it's kind of getting there, but also like Seattle, if you've ever heard of the Seattle Freeze, it's essentially like the people aren't particularly nice or welcoming or open or inviting. And so like the community here is a little rough. I'm good at building community. Like I got my start running a conference in the Midwest that became like really well-known in the startup space and like building community around that. And for me, it's been hard here. So I'm like, oh, this is rough. And that's part of the move to LA is like I have a ton of e-commerce friends there. There's events going on all the time. There's lots of fitness stuff going on. It just makes a lot of sense for us right now. And then my co-founder's in New York. So I'm there fairly often. And also it's just a great place to be.
Caleb, these members at CrossFit Antifa are just not nice. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is.
How that works.
Yeah. So weird.
That's your next meme, John.
Yes. That would be a good one.
Can you imagine? Actually, I could imagine.
God.
I can't imagine.
Well, look, I mean, you're defying the odds, right? You're building the business and doing the thing. Maybe if the environment isn't even perfectly laid out for
yeah.
stuff, so
yeah, you just
great.
keep going.